Hi, my name's Bev Mitchell. I graduated in 1988 and I have a BSc in biochemistry.
My name is Baljinder Singh Atwal. I'm a senior solicitor and I graduated from the University of Birmingham in 2015.
My name is Julie Bedford, graduated in 2005 and I studied a humanities degree in history, social history and English literature, which was an amazing course.
I did enjoy my degree and I had some great friends on the course, but being involved with the Guild of Students was what made my degree experience, I think, really exceptional and set me off on the path that I've then subsequently gone down. I was a guild counsellor for the biochemistry department for a while, and that was great. I've always had a low-lying interest in politics, and actually to feel that you could influence broader decisions about student life was really interesting. I also got involved with things like guild security. So, I was at the front of gigs, pulling people out of the crowds on the occasions when we had very busy gigs in town. So we did the Rocky Horror Show in there, got loads of flour and water paste on the floor, spent the whole next day on the Sunday down on our knees trying to clean the floor. And we'd have bands in there and I'd do security in here. It's fabulous. But the bit I really got involved in was the Carnival Committee at the Guild of Students. Well, actually we were in that.
Oh, you were that?
Yeah. But I'm going to take a picture anyway, that's so exciting. And that was the entertainment team down there. I don't think that exists anymore. But when it did, it was there to do some fundraising for local charities. And the year where I was chair, we raised over £30,000, so it was excellent fun. The university is 125 years old today. I think the Guild is a particularly strong part of that.
Outside competition and a normal competition for you. And then we're going to have some videos as well in the main library.
It's a brilliant example of something that can probably enhance your career aspirations, your degree aspirations, but actually it's a lot of fun. And I guess you'll get to meet some different people on the other side of the camera because it's outside of the degree kind of curriculum. So I definitely advocate getting involved. I graduated and went straight into a milk round job. So I went to work for Nissan up in the northeast of England, which was and still is a very big car manufacturer. And I think I got through the milk round interview based on the skills that I'd developed whilst I'd been doing my, I suppose, extracurricular stuff. I think actively able to demonstrate that I'd led a group of people, that we'd had some fun along the way, but we'd also raised some money, managed to cover our costs, really planned ahead, got organised, and the whole teamwork aspect of pulling a group of people together, I think stood me in really good stead to get through those first job interviews. At the end of the day, you can put your head down and study your degree for 3 or 4 years, get a really good degree, but maybe lose out on some of the other opportunities. And I think the Guild is there as a backstop to foster that other opportunity. University life, I think at its essence, it's all still very similar to when I was a student myself. Your degree is why you're here. But I think the ability still to interact and get involved is very strong.
The main reason I came to Birmingham was firstly the campus. I live in the country, so I wanted a campus which had a green atmosphere to it, and there's trees and grass which you can actually see, which is and you've got the facilities of working and being near a major city, so you've got all the shops and everything. And that was the first impact which took me before I even decided what course I was doing.
But universities are so much bigger these days. When I was at uni, less than 10% of my cohort from school would have gone to university. For you guys, I guess it's more like 80, 90%. So the numbers are huge. I think when I was here, there were 10,000 students. That was a big university at the time, but it dwarfs into comparison with today's numbers.
The University of Birmingham, founded over 100 years ago. Its campus less than 3 miles from the city centre, home to 10,000 students
I remember having rock buns and hot chocolate every day with routine in one of our breaks for lectures, and there was a little coffee shop just around the corner from the biochemistry building. Again, I'm not sure whether that's there or not, but I remember the pink melamine cups that we had to drink from, and I'm sure that wasn't the healthiest of diets, but there you go. I spent a lot of time in the library in year three with 10 weeks to go. I fondly remember the paternosters and the little nooks and crannies that you could really get your head down and study in. So the library I thought was a fabulous space and a brilliant building. So the library was there?
That's the new library, the yellow building there now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's the other very ugly building.
Your head down.
Yeah, absolutely awful. In terms of continuation 40 years on, I'm still very close to two friends, Sarah and Jane, who shared a house with me, Sarah for 2 years and Jane for the last year. And we get together every year without fail, so that's fabulous. Sarah and Jane are waiting for photographs of you. I look back very fondly with the people that I met when I was here, and obviously for Sarah, Jane and I, it's still a very live friendship. Group, I think would be the phrase these days.
The outreach for graduates and current students, I think there's a lot more schemes available. I think when I was at university it was very kind of inward focused, but now I think it goes more upwards to professionals and organisations. So I think there's lots more opportunity for people in university to connect with different career routes, but also the alumni as well. There's a massive focus on connecting with people and making sure they come back to university and kind of share that knowledge and experience they had as students. So my last two law firms and currently with the police, we always come to do careers fairs, whether that's specific for law or general kind of jobs. So I've been doing that ever since I think a year or two after finishing university. So it's been quite good to come back and seeing how the university has developed over time. I get to speak to students, whether it's first year or kind of recent graduates, and say, you know, I was in your position, I've struggled during that seminar, that lecture, that exam. It makes things way more achievable for students there. And again, it's always a good way to kind of just give back to the local UOB community. Advice to my younger self would be, firstly, not to stress so much. I think we're also preoccupied with the day-to-day, whether it's that revision piece, that lecture, that seminar. People don't realise that when you come to university it's such a small period of time, and if you don't appreciate it, you know, you kind of regret all the opportunities you had there. The word on the street is that if you walk under Old Joe and the bell chimes, it's bad luck. I think favourite thing about university is probably the clock tower, so Old Joe. It's just so iconic, and I think it is the only kind of freestanding clock tower that any university has, so it's, you know, a big accolade for us all to have here. I've seen the city grow from strength to strength. I mean, I remember seeing the first day that Birmingham New Street was built and kind of looking up thinking, wow, this is amazing. And I feel the exact same thing when I come to the campus as well. So many new buildings, so many things that the university is now known for that it was never known for before. I think it fills a lot of people in the city with pride, and I think over time it should only get better and better with that. Just doing my degree gave me a good foundation for my career, but all the additional things through societies and sports are a big focus for me at uni. So whether it was playing rugby for the law school or getting involved with the Sikh Society or the Bhangra Society, there was lots to do, and there was lots of good people to meet and lots of lifelong friends that I've kept from uni. I guess every year we had a law ball, and I guess that was quite special to have everyone in your course together. We had quite a big course, so it was good to see everyone together, really get dressed up and kind of just celebrate the kind of hard work throughout every year, because every year was quite tough on the course, so yeah, that was quite memorable. I met my wife in my final year of university, didn't know who she was in the first or second year. I think the first time we actually met was during a civil procedure and evidence seminar, which obviously sounds really boring, and it actually is. She's from Guildford in Surrey. So yeah, and I was based in Birmingham, so yeah, we did long distance for a very long time, and we got married last year. So yeah, long distance worked, and we met on campus, so yeah, I owe the university a lot.
Yeah, it's over 20 years since I arrived here. I would say quite a lot's changed. I think my opportunity to get here, aged 45, and give up my career to study full time is probably not one that people would, maybe is open to people now. The course fees just were introduced at the time. It was doable. I had a house of my own. I don't think that offer exists anymore, really. So yeah, I do consider myself to be a very lucky person to be able to do that. I would say mostly it's been preserved, but there's a new library now that wasn't there when I was here. It's around the same, but it's ever evolving, isn't it? Which is a great thing, I think. Sometimes we walk through the campus again, coming from the train or that sort of thing, yeah. And I have been back to try and find some evidence of my great-grandfather. When I arrived at university, it was a major thing in my life. And walking around the campus, I sort of started to remember these stories that I'd heard about my great-grandfather. He was born in 1864. And we always had this photo at home of my great-granddad, always. And here he is on the campus, standing in front of what's now called the Aston Webb boulder, but it's also an erratic stone. And I was very interested in where this was, seeing as I was here. So I eventually found it, and nestled between music and the Lapworth Museum, and there it was, this huge erratic boulder. And I was like, wow, this is so interesting. Who was this man? And then I found out that he was the very first landscape gardener at the university. He was responsible for laying out the whole of this beautiful campus that I was walking around daily, getting to the Department of Education to do my PGCE. And then I found out that he was not only a landscape gardener, but he was also a medal winner at Chelsea Flower Show for orchids. He had a market stall in Birmingham city centre. He had his own business with his brothers. He came from a long line of nurserymen that weren't gardeners, they were growers of plants, and they knew all about them, and he was a very well accomplished man. And I thought, I'm sure he had a bit of grit there to get through 700 applicants to get this top job. And it sort of reminded me of me, really, that I must have some grit too to arrive here at 45. What I studied, the history and English literature of the Industrial Revolution, certainly helped me understand my great-grandfather a lot better than I would have done. This university is part of our family. So my nickname was Mum, and people would ask me every day, how are you getting on? Do you have this book? Have you downloaded that? Have you read this yet? Oh no. Because they were probably behind and I was always ahead and desperate to hold on to this opportunity and not waste it. I hope that the university carries on exploring itself and expanding and being as beautiful as it is. You know, retaining that campus feel, which makes it feel quite small, but it isn't small. It's not a rambling set of buildings all over the place. This is like a village, like a home, and it sort of makes you feel safe and also confident. And I hope that it continues to be just like that.
In 125 years, I think I want the university to still maintain its high standard and still want people of the city to feel proud of it. So I'd want it to be a university that's accessible for all, a university that prides itself on its achievements and its accolades, and really celebrates the city whenever it goes from strength to strength.
I think with hindsight looking back, anybody could try anything, and people were really generous about getting you involved. Actually, your enthusiasm, your commitment was more important than whether you had, you know, a superpower. But my goodness, there isn't much you couldn't get involved in if you wanted to.
Make the most of every single opportunity. When I started the university, I was quite a shy person, and I think the person when I started first year to the person when I graduated were two very different people, and that attributes to all the people that I met here, the course that I was in, and all the kind of extra opportunities that I was given here. And I think if it wasn't for the university, it wouldn't be the person I am today, it wouldn't be the professional I am today.
Yeah, I have a fondness, big fondness for this place, yeah. I love it to bits.